Three mistakes I see people make when they pick the wrong franchise. One, they fell in love with the product or service themselves. I love Krispy Kreme donuts. Anybody like Krispy Kreme? Okay? Love Krispy Kreme. I don't think, though, I'd enjoy Krispy Kreme as much if I worked in it 7 days a week. Right? If I had to get up at 4 a.m. to go make the donuts. But many people fall in love with the product or service and they go into business for that reason. Finding that's not the right fit for them. They don't like the hours, they don't like working with people in that kind of business, whatever. Other mistake that they make. They heard of someone or know of someone that was apparently successful in a given business. Therefore, it must be a good business for me to go into. Well, it might have been a good fit for that guy's personality, for the kind of lifestyle he wanted to have, the kind of money he wanted to make, the kind of people he enjoyed working with. But that doesn't mean, again, it's a good fit for you. Third major mistake I see people make. They found the franchise on some list. Maybe it's on some internet list, maybe it's some list in a magazine where they rank franchises. And if it's at the top of the list, it must therefore be a good franchise. Well, sometimes they're ranked based upon the number of locations or the growth in number of locations. Neither one of it, which infer, of course, a fit for you, and of course that doesn't even infer that it's a financially successful business. Just because there's a lot of locations doesn't mean they're all doing well. So again, it's important to do your homework. Ask questions. Paul, if you're going to explore embroidery, make sure you get to a point where you're able to talk with a number of other franchisees out there. I say, if someone's really liking a particular business, we need to talk with at least 7 to 10 franchisees. Those who are doing really well, because those are the ones you want to identify with, but also talk with those who are struggling. In both cases, ask why. Why are you doing real well? Why are you struggling? Okay? And so you can understand which group you most closely relate to. Other questions?
So if you was going into a franchise today, which one would you go into?
Well, if I were, that would be based upon my strengths and likes, the time that I want to put in, and my goals.
Base it on the financial impact.
On the financial alone?
Yes.
I see people making good money in businesses that I wouldn't want to go into.
Such as?
Water damage restoration. That's not fit for me. I tell you what, again, water's seeping up into your walls and you're a restaurant owner, you're going to pay some big bucks to get that fixed. But it's not the kind of business that I want. For me, that's a business that may require some hours in the evening time or on weekends. And I didn't want to do that. So again, based on my own goals. Restaurants. Some restaurant concepts are making good money. I don't want to be in the food business, though. I don't like the hassle of all the employees and the long hours and the high turnover of staff, etc. But there are some restaurant concepts where you can make great money. But again, I'm glad you asked the question because it ties back to, I think, finding the right fit. What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? What kind of people do you like to work with? Do you like managing employees, or would you prefer to have few, if any, employees? What kind of customers do you like to work with? Do you like to be the sales guy? Do you feel comfortable, have some sales experience out there calling on customers? Or would you prefer to be in a role where customers are coming to you based upon advertising? Again, finding the right fit, I think, is very important. What I try to do in my business is I spend some time in interviews with individuals to understand a little more who they are, their profile of who they are. Do some testing to understand a little more about their behavioral profile. And only then, if we decide we want to work together, is go look at some options. Let's go explore. Let's go ask questions. Let's go talk with other franchisees who've gone out there and done it. And then through that process of gathering facts, people eventually reach a conclusion about, A, is business ownership even right for them at all? And B, if it is, which business is it? So that's what we do. By the way, I don't charge anything for my services along those lines. I get paid by the franchising industry if I'm successful at helping someone find the right fit. And if I am, that company pays me a fee. And the neat thing is they cannot pass that fee along to my clients. So just to share with you how my business model works here. So anybody's investment in a given business is no greater because of kind of with my coaching. But a lot of folks that I talk with, they conclude it's not for them, but at least they took the time to learn about the possibilities. So that's essentially what I do. Other questions? Yeah, Paul.
I have looked at Chick-fil-A as well.
Mm-hmm.
The feedback I got back, it was a long waiting line
Yeah.
for franchisees.
Yeah.
Is that an indication of profitability or slow process, or what's your feel of that?
Well, there's a number of things that work with Chick-fil-A. One, it is not a true franchise. Unlike other franchise concepts, the owners don't actually own the business. They are kind of going in partnership with the Chick-fil-A parent company. They pay a small fee to get into that, and they get to share in the profits by the store. But the day they decide to walk away, they leave it all behind them. They have nothing to sell. They don't have a franchise to sell. It's owned by the company. Second, Chick-fil-A's made a conscious effort. They do not desire to expand rapidly. They only add a few stores a year. So that's why there's a long line. Third, many of their franchisees come from within. They've worked inside the business in Chick-fil-A for a period of time, and then they get awarded a franchise. And it could be wherever Chick-fil-A says they want you to be. Okay? So it's all of those things that work. Not really a true franchise, though, as others are.
Well, they're very profitable, aren't they?
I really don't know. I assume they are by the lines that I see. But it's not, again, and it's not something you're building equity in that you can then sell that business. Now, I know the gentleman who owns the Arboretum franchise. He was the first freestanding Chick-fil-A outside of Georgia. I don't know if you knew that or not. And at one time was among the most profitable in their chain.
Highest volume, too.
Highest volume, yeah. Yeah, that's a
You
big
wanted the Arboretum?
Yeah, Arboretum. It's amazing to me that the lines of cars around there at like 11:30 a.m. when you can just park and walk in and go right up to the counter. I don't know why they all stand in line. That's just not like that.
You do get Sundays off, right?
And you're closed on Sundays, and that's appealing to people too.
And their managers or site managers, whatever you want to call them, don't leave.
Yeah.
I mean, real high retention rate.
Yeah.
Far outranks any other franchise.
Right? Yeah, it's a neat business.
Sounds like they got the recipe then, right?
They got the recipe. Yeah, it's a good one, but it's again
Being in the product.
low risk to get into, but you're not really owning a business either.
But are you profitable in that venture?
Well, I mean, many are, apparently. Although I've been in some Chick-fil-A's in other parts of the country that were not so attractive, but some others.
The owner is Truett Cathy in his book, Eat More Chicken. It's really a pretty good book to pick up, the library would have it or anything like that. It doesn't get into the mechanics of here's what it costs and so forth, but as far as their philosophy, how they run their business and so forth, pretty impressive. A wonderful family.
Neat business. Well, I admire it. I'm in there at least once a week.
You're in the line.
Yeah, if anybody has kids, you're at Chick-fil-A, and we even find sometimes for a quick, fairly good quality evening meal, we'll stop in there.